Okay. Okay, I'm gonna play Half-Life 1, continuing from yeah, continuing from where I left off. Continuing from where I left off last time. So let's get started. We were in this supply room last time, and here we've got grenades on the table. And you get you get 5 grenades for every one that you see, like that. So let's get going.
Just look at that.
Look at what?
Wouldn't you like to get one of these blood samples under a microscope?
I'm afraid that when abominations like this invade our world, getting their blood samples is the last thing on my mind. What's on my mind more is survival and making sure that the government doesn't start breeding them or something like that. So yeah, let's get rid of this evidence and this evidence too. And then we'll be on our way, you know. Jump down a skill and hurt myself in the progress.
This would happen, but the administrator just would not listen. I hope those people in the Lambda lab get this.
Strange how he suddenly went silent when I got a certain distance away from him just then. Anyway, no. Oh no. Strange how I heard that Vorticon before he even materialised. Things seem to be getting more dangerous by the moment, don't they? Suppose we best get rid of this evidence too. There's a threatening sight, isn't it? I've never thought about this until recently, but I wonder if we could.
Yes, I'm going to stay here and wait for my colleagues. Yeah, this is as far as I go.
Oh, open it. I want to see if we can do a certain. Trust him to open. Yes, are you okay?
I refuse to go another step.
But suddenly I've done this. Practically. I seem to be getting some kind of buzzing. Like it might be getting lag. Shouldn't be getting lag really, considering that my laptop is only a year old and this game was made in 1998. But yeah, it's typical things to get all these problems. don't think people would come searching for evidence in sewers, so guess we'll leave that body there. And unfortunately here we have to flood the place in order to raise ourselves up to get up there on the other side of that gate or fence or wherever it is. So turn the valve like so, and now we have to swim up here before we drown. Oh, how I crouch as I shoot like a professional marksman, haven't you? Only I didn't fire there, so it seems like my glitchy mouse or system or whatever is acting up again. And yes, I crouch walk everywhere because I'm a pansy. And in real life, I'd be terrified. Now we need to get on this diagonal lift, elevator, whatever you want to call it, and try to survive the ride down. As we're accosted by headcrabs, which in real life would be fatal if they were able to get onto your head. But in this, when you're Gordon Freeman, they're really nothing more than dangerous killer turkeys or chickens, I suppose you could say. It's impossible to get onto this platform unless you jump onto it from that descending lift there. Although there's another health station there in case you miss it, along with all the blood there. On hard difficulty, headcrabs need 3 shots to be killed from this gun, as opposed to 2 on easy and normal difficulty. And don't hound eyes make such cute sounds. I think I'll leave it since we don't need to kill it, and he seems to be so excited about having just materialized here on Earth. So let's go. That was the not so promising earthly debut of a bull squid that you just saw just then. Just shows how badly this place was made if these catwalks can't support the weight of a bull squid, doesn't it? I mean, even though they've got a lot of girth and they look big and muscular, well, they don't look particularly tall. And so, you'd think that must limit the weight that they can possibly be somewhat, wouldn't you? This can be kind of dangerous here. Yes, even though I actively tried to get on that ladder, I couldn't get on in time, and I took fall damage. Can't remember. Oh, that'll lead to this room with the water. And you see that bull squids don't like headcrabs. Wish I could have shown that to you from above, since it's more fun to watch from above, I think. Seems to be doing the little victory dance down there. And then handily disposes of a headcrab of another headcrab like so. Yes, it seems like stealth might actually work in this game, since it didn't see me when I was crouch walking. And it's often handy to destroy boxes in this game, as they usually have helpful goodies in them. Don't know why it keeps firing when I don't actually do it. Sometimes I've pretty much jumped out of my skin when games have fired guns that I'm holding by themselves. Amazing how the bull squid still doesn't know I'm here, isn't it? I've started crouch walking often in first person shooter games ever since I thought it made it fun when I was playing Fallout New Vegas to do that. I used to play through faster, but not anymore. I think it makes it more immersive to move around stealthily in FPS games now. More exciting as well to know that there's enemies around and they're alive, but just not aware of you, so to speak. Although it's a bit much having to hold down the crouch button constantly, I think. I had a bit of a moment of cowardice jumping into the water rather than be faced with the possibility of being hit by its spiky tail. Need to remember to jump. Felt a bit guilty doing that while it was having problems glitching away and whatnot. And you see its spiky tail, which you don't want to get hit by, along with some rather intimidating looking, almost tiger-like markings. But they've got such innocent, cute eyes, haven't they? Despite these rather terrifying looking tentacles over their mouths, no doubt to help them feed on meat from their prey. But alas, we need to get rid of this evidence. And you don't want to get pulled up by those barnacles, the red things on the ceilings, dangling those tongues down either, because they will eat you to pieces. Got to check all the boxes to make sure there's no helpful loot in them which I might be leaving behind. Helpful goodies like health and bullets and all that other good stuff in FPS games. And those who have played Half-Life 2 will know what I'm talking about. But doesn't this corridor remind you of the corridors when you're first entering the Citadel in Half-Life 2? Very narrow and very tall, like they were designed for giants or something. Not humans anyway, that's for sure. And here we enter the intimidating platforming room. I mean, imagine what you'd feel like if you came in here in real life and you realised you had to jump from box to box in order to get to the other side of the room to escape. But these are desperate times, and because the bridge in our other big room was destroyed, the bridge that should have gone over the top of the canal in that room that we saw just then is broken. That means we've got to seek out alternative means of getting from A to B. For a minute, I thought I was going to fall down. My toes curled. And I need to be careful, otherwise I'll get cramps in my feet and I'll need to press them down against a hard surface in order to put an end to the agony of it all. I often used to wake up with foot cramps, and I'd need to panic up and press my foot on the floor in order to stop the agonizing pain. God, I managed to do that the first time, by the way. Makes me look like an elite. And now we've got some nice peace and quiet, haven't we? After all the things that were exploding before and being beset by countless hostile, terrifying creatures from another dimension, things seem at peace all of a sudden. Like we might actually escape this place after all. Yes, the elevator. Maybe this will take us to the surface and then there'll be police and soldiers there waiting to welcome me with a drink and a towel as they ask me questions and comfort me on my trauma. Oh, I guess not. Oh, guess my problems aren't over after all. As you can see, electricity is quite fatal in this game. Despite the danger of it, though, we need to get here in this vent. All whilst taking care not to go past our electricity. Recently I've been watching the playthrough of a YouTuber called Judson Joist, and when he was playing this part, he wondered if you come in here while the fan is still going, if it's possible to coax these headcrabs into the fan so they can be sliced to pieces. Let's show him if they can or not, and I'm pretty sure they can. Yeah, see? Did you see the meat fly? The Gibbs fly? Hopefully those cockroaches will be safe though. And he looks like he's got a few chocolate bars. He died eating a few chocolate bars, that security guard. So maybe if we turn this fan on, he'll be inclined to share them with us. After all, he doesn't seem to have much use for them anymore. Funny, I thought I saw 2 headcrabs in there as well. Guess the other died while I wasn't looking. "19 minutes have passed since I started. Doesn't time fly when you're having fun?"
Look at those peculiar markings.
That's not good. Nothing like a scientific investigation into how hostile creatures from another dimension consume their food, is there? Think I'll take a ride into it myself. Just joking.
It's good to see Gordon. If I'd known it was you, I'd have let you in. Everyone's heading for the service. but I think they're crazy not to stay put. Someone is bound to come by and rescue us.
Sounded a bit breathless there.
Who is responsible for this mess?
Maybe he's just scared or something. Oh no, it's not very nice to keep cockroaches trapped in a vending machine, is it? Be free, my children.
I predicted all of this.
Just stood on one, unfortunately. Oh, this machine seems to be literally full of them. Seems to have a never-ending supply. Which is good considering I keep accidentally stepping on them. Don't think there could end up being like 100 of them or something in the end though, since the number keeps staying the same, it seems.
Well, there goes our grant money.
Seems they can hide as
Failure
well.
of this magnitude is extremely improbable.
The first times I ever played this game, the sucking sound that these make when they pull you up, it really scared me and shocked me. Sounds so unpleasant when you don't know what it is that's pulling you up. It's seriously creepy, isn't it? Now if we turn the electricity off, we'll be able to pass this malfunctioning electrical light or whatever it is in the hallway here. I didn't want to change weapon there. Electrical water always makes me rather fearful in games. Storage rooms are usually always a comforting thought to me. Small little rooms. That's quite a party trick. That he is capable of the miraculous ability to draw blood out of walls, isn't it? With his claws. I, for one, didn't know walls could bleed. Evidence. I mean, storage rooms are always a source of solace and comfort for me. Being small and full of goodies, especially in Fallout New Vegas. And speaking of chocolate bars, I've got to go and get the ones that the security guard had in here now that the fans turned off. Shame I accidentally killed all those cockroaches as well. Cockroaches are my only friend, with me being a friendless reject in real life and whatnot. In fact, I'm the kind of person who feels sad when he sees dying insects like flies and whatnot inside. I used to try and rescue them and help them outside until I realised that usually insects are buzzing around during hot times of year, like summer and whatnot, and so they probably come inside seeking out the heat, and putting them outside might just speed up the death, so to speak. Oh, it's always hard to dodge that head crab even when you know it's there, simply because you're never quite sure when that last box is going to break up. Shotgun. Oh, nice.
Bring it on!
Very calm, isn't he?
What is that smell?
That was rather funny, wasn't it? And that smell is probably me, since I haven't had a bath or a shower in quite some time. I think the last time, yeah. Stealth doesn't seem to work against the headcrabs. Can't remember if two come in here or what. So. I wonder if this table can be destroyed. No. Anyway, let's get our new toy out for you.
Something died down here.
You can. Oh no. That was an accident. It was a case of a gun firing by itself again. And it really does that, by the way. It does it on other games as well. I mean, do I look like the type to randomly kill NPCs? I mean, I've left some alive, like that scientist in our other room.
45%.
And when I blew up that scientist earlier in the video, it was just because he was talking like he wanted to experiment on and maybe breed more of these creatures. So, yeah, I might have blown him to pieces, but it was for the greater good overall. Dr. Newell scheduled Chaos Theory R&D, and that isn't actually a character in this game, but rather obviously based on Gabe Newell, who is the founder, the joint founder of Valve Corporation, the company that made this game. He's well known to fans as Gabe N because of his surname, but some of us, due to rather comedic videos on YouTube, have come to know him as Gabe N. Seems near enough impossible to get in here without taking damage on that electrified in the electrified water, and even the water from the flowing sink hurts as well. And so what we have to do here, ignoring the headcrab's intimidating gaze, of course, is get to the light over there. And not sure what that scientist is doing, but presumably he's doing it for the good of his health, holding on to that precarious ceiling tile with his brute strength. So let's get to work with our platforming expertise. Headcrabs seem to be losing their touch in this day and age. I thought they very seldom missed with their jumps if you were close and an easy target for them. can't remember if this opens or not. Oh no. Another thing Judson Joist wondered is if you coax these headcrabs out of here and then turn the power on, will they be fried? I guess not. Well, there's always other ways to kill them. I wanted to do that without taking a hit, but not always possible, is it? And for those of you who particularly dislike headcrabs, so I'll show you something rather funny. Yes, this could potentially be a source of never-ending amusement for some, watching infinitely spawning headcrabs constantly falling into this fan, getting made mincemeat out of. And look at the blood on the fan blades as it spins around as well. Not to mention all these bits of chicken down here. These bits of chicken meat, which could provide a never-ending source of nourishment for someone wanting his protein fix for the day. Anyway, let's continue on down this air vent. Hopefully there's no danger, no hostile creatures waiting to eat us or subject us to some other kind of grisly, horrible fate. Ceilings aren't too stable, it seems. See? Anyway, I think we've played enough for today, so I'll stop here in this nice isolated corridor where I feel safe now that we know the ceilings aren't hiding anything anymore, and I know that nothing can get to me unless things will start coming from through the walls. And people who have played opposing force will probably know where that quote comes from. So I bid you all farewell once again, friends, and I'll see you later. Goodbye.